Hi, welcome to Oh Heavens. It's a series about heaven. And I'm your host, Jeff Dixon. And together we're looking at heaven and trying to answer some questions about heaven. And as we answer the questions, we're telling you what heaven is like, best we know from the information that we have in Scripture. And so the question is, do our souls sleep until the resurrection at the rapture? That's a good question. See, when a believer dies, his body goes into the grave and falls asleep. But his soul doesn't go to sleep. His soul goes to paradise. We find in 2 Corinthians 5:8, Philippians 1:23, Luke 23:43. In Scripture, the phrase falling asleep is a softened term for a believer's death. For instance, when Paul wrote to the church at Thessalonica, he said, I don't want you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning those who have fallen asleep, lest you sorrow as others who have no hope. He wasn't talking about falling asleep like we might fall asleep in church or fall asleep at night. He's describing the death of a Christian. In the New Testament, the Greek word that is used here to fall asleep is translated to recline, the same word that someone might use to recline, who slept in a hotel for a day and then the next day would get up and continue his journey. It's a beautiful image of what happens to a believer's body when they die. Their body goes to sleep, awaiting the resurrection at the rapture. Their soul is immediately with Jesus in heaven. You say, what? Yeah. And one day, and again, this is something we'll talk about later, I'm sure, you get a resurrection body, and all of a sudden, boom, back together we go. But if you die, hear me carefully, according to what Scripture says, in that moment you are present with Jesus. Your body, on the other hand, you don't need it. Your soul's with Jesus, that body is just reclining and it's going to come back up. It's a beautiful image of what happens to believers in their bodies when they die. The body goes to sleep, awaiting the resurrection. You get to go into the presence of Jesus right now. And so if you have a loved one who has passed away and you've been at their memorial service or a celebration of life service, the pastor or somebody has said they're no longer with us, they're with Jesus. If they were a follower of Jesus Christ, that's exactly where they are this very minute, and that's very good news. And so we'll talk more about heaven and what we can discover about it next time. Oh heavens!